This morning, we're learning a lot more about the recovery efforts in Washington, D.C. after Wednesday's midair collision between that passenger plane and an Army helicopter.
Officials confirm that there are no survivors, and now we're learning more about some of the local ties to victims on that plane and the aircraft itself. Now, Jordan Vline is joining us in the studio. What's the latest, Jordan?
So just last night, and again, what we're speaking to here are the victims that pertain and have direct ties right here in Ohio, because last night, that's when we learned that a number of people who were on board of that American Airlines flight, again, have ties to the Buckeye State. Among those killed, Cincinnati native Elizabeth Keys. You can see her pictured right there. Sadly, Wednesday was her 33rd birthday. Her mother, Mary, has shared these pictures with Fox 19. She tells us Elizabeth was a 2010 graduate of Madeira High School, where she was valedictorian. Elizabeth graduated from Tufts University back in 2014. She went on to earn her law degree at Georgetown University. Another woman, this woman pictured here, Grace Maxwell. She was also among the victims. Grace was a student. She was a junior at Cedarville University. That's up near Dayton. She majored in mechanical engineering. She was returning to campus from her hometown in Wichita, Kansas. Also, GE Aerospace, which is headquartered right here in Cincinnati, also confirming that one of their employees was on the American Airlines flight. In a statement to Fox 19 now, Larry Culp, chairman and CEO of GE Aerospace, said, quote, "This is a tragedy, not only for our industry, but also for the GE Aerospace team, as one of our cherished colleagues, Vikesh Patel, was on board that flight. Our hearts are with his family and all of those impacted by this horrific incident." And so again, as we continue to really follow this here this morning, along with the local ties, we're also, of course, following the developments, the progression being made in the aviation realm itself, also discovering here too the actual airline, PSA Airlines, that's based out of Dayton. So again, that's a division of American Airlines. Once more, following those local ties, the tragedy, as well as the developments in the investigation, which of course are ongoing this morning with those, I guess the search and everything, or the rescue now becoming more prevalent. Now, Alexis, I know you've been following this, since yesterday. At this point, we were just talking earlier, 40 bodies, something like that have been recovered. I mean, it's just, it's just kind of, tears at your heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, especially with those local connections, and we're learning so much about the victims from really all over the country and some people from across the world. But as we learn more about those victims, the NTSB and first responders continue to look for evidence and answers in the collision. The National Transportation Safety Board, which is leading the investigation into the disaster, says both the plane's flight data and voice recorders, known as black boxes from the plane, have been found, hoping to get answers as to why this tragedy happened. NTSB Chairwoman Jennifer Hamady described the investigation into the crash Wednesday night as an all-hands-on-deck event. We have done research this morning into how exactly the investigation works. First, the NTSB will establish several different working groups, each responsible for investigating different areas connected to the accident. Those groups include operations, which examines the flight history and crew member duties; structures, which will document airframe wreckage and the accident scene; power plants, which will focus on aircraft engines and engine accessories; and systems, which will study the electrical components of the two aircrafts. The investigation will also include a human performance group that will be a part of the operations, air traffic control, and helicopter groups, and will study the crew performance and any factors that could have been involved, such as human error or sleepiness, medication, medical histories, training, and workload. The agency hopes to have that preliminary report ready within 30 days, but usually complete reports and investigations like these usually take between 1 and 2 years to complete. At the Alert Desk, Alexis Cruz, Fox 19 Now.
We, of course, are following every angle of that story. We're going to keep you posted right here on air and online at fox19.com. And make sure to download the free Fox 19 mobile news app to get notifications sent directly to your